right, so today we're really diving deep and, going into the whole thing with Whitney Houston's legacy.
Oh, yeah.
And how some artists, they go beyond just the time that they were popular, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's definitely one of them. So we're talking about the 90s, obviously.
Right.
But you sent in some really interesting stuff.
Okay.
That has me convinced that she's like way bigger than just the 90s.
Okay.
So are you ready to unpack this whole thing?
I am so ready. Let's do it.
Okay, let's dive in.
Yeah, let's dive in.
So I think one of the things that's really interesting about Whitney Houston, at least to me, is how much her influence is still felt today.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Since the 90s. And here we are still talking about her.
Yeah, decades later. And it always makes me kind of go back and think, what was it? What was it about her what were the ingredients in this person that made her such a force?
Mm-hmm.
And why does it still resonate today? Why is it still so powerful?
Yeah, and I think to really understand it, you got to kind of like rewind back to the early 90s.
Okay.
And what was going on.
Right.
Like hip hop was really blowing up.
Right.
MTV was like, it was
everything.
Yeah, it was like the cultural Bible. Everybody was watching MTV.
That's true.
And there were so many talented women in music then.
Yes.
But,
a lot of talent.
But Whitney, she was different.
She was different.
And I think, one thing we often kind of gloss over is that she didn't just materialize out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like she came
she came from something.
She came from music royalty.
Music royalty. Sissy Houston, her mom.
Exactly.
Gospel legend.
Yeah, gospel legend.
In her own right.
And then you got Dionne Warwick is her cousin. Aretha Franklin's her cousin.
I mean, talk about an upbringing.
I know, right?
Immersed in raw talent.
Like you can't escape that.
No,
when
that shapes you.
Yeah,
you say.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's like she inherited this legacy of just incredible musical background. Yeah, and then she just took it and ran with it.
She did, and with that voice.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
With that voice, forget about it.
Power.
And speaking of taking it and running with it, can we just talk about 1992 for a second?
Oh my God.
Okay, the Bodyguard soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
I mean, 20 weeks at #1.
I know.
On the Billboard 200, that's
unheard of.
That's insane, first of all. And
that's huge.
But it's just like you can't deny it.
Yeah.
It was a cultural phenomenon. It wasn't just like a commercial success.
No.
And I think you really can't deny that it's her voice.
It's the voice
that made that soundtrack as legendary as it is.
It's the raw emotion.
Oh, yeah.
In every single note that just, it bypassed logic.
Yeah.
And it went straight for your soul.
Exactly. All of it.
And everyone I knew was belting out, "I will always love you" at the top of their lungs. I mean, come on. You remember,
For sure. Cassette tape.
Rewinding that thing?
Rewind.
Yeah. I thought my cassette tape was going to break, honestly.
Right.
But The Bodyguard wasn't just about the vocals, right? It really changed. I think it changed how people saw movie soundtracks.
I think so, too.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it wasn't enough to just have,
Yeah, just some background music, throw some pop songs in.
Yeah, just some generic pop songs.
No.
You set a new standard.
She set a whole new standard. Oh, my God. And think about this. Think about MTV.
Oh, yeah.
At its peak, music videos are everything. And here comes Whitney. And she's not just singing on the soundtrack.
Right.
She's starring in the movie.
Yeah.
A blockbuster film. It was huge.
So it blurred the lines between music and Hollywood.
Yeah.
That, in a way, we hadn't really seen before.
Yeah, no, I agree. And she crushed it.
Oh, my God.
She absolutely killed it.
Yeah.
So
I give the people what they want.
So we've got this incredible voice.
Yeah.
We've got this record-breaking soundtrack. We've got a star turn on the big screen.
Yeah.
But I think it's really important to mention, the doors that she opened.
Yeah.
Especially for Black artists who wanted that mainstream success.
Oh, absolutely. You're so right.
We can't gloss over that.
Yeah. No, you can't.
This is the early 90s.
Right.
Things were changing. But the music industry wasn't exactly known for being inclusive.
No, they weren't.
So to say that she was, breaking down barriers, it's an understatement.
Yeah.
I think.
It is.
Now, I'm not trying to say she single-handedly changed the game, but her success definitely said something.
Oh, 100%. She wasn't just like defying expectations. She was shattering them.
Yeah.
You know? And for a generation of artists that were coming up, especially Black women, to see that, level of achievement, I mean, it showed what was possible.
Absolutely.
And you can't really overstate that impact.
Yeah, and it was more than just that it was possible.
It's true.
It was like she was doing it. And she was doing it her way.
Yes, on her own terms.
Yes. And it was beyond inspiring, I think, for a lot of people.
It's true.
And it wasn't just her music, though.
Right.
Like, her influence really went beyond that.
Yeah.
Like, you think about the award. She was racking up awards.
Left and right.
Left and right. I mean, a Super Bowl performance.
Iconic.
Oh, my God. Come on.
Come on.
Like, iconic is an understatement. It was.
It really was.
And she's still, like, the most awarded female artist
of all time.
I mean, that's crazy.
That's major.
That's huge.
It is.
But you know what's interesting? I was reading some of the stuff that you sent.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't realize this.
Yeah.
That she was kind of hesitant.
Really?
To even star in The Bodyguard at first.
Really?
Like, she didn't even want to do it.
I did not know that.
I know, right?
Wow. Yeah, like, she was really focused on her music at that point, which, makes sense.
Of course.
She was at the top of her game.
Totally.
But I do have to say, I'm glad she took that leap.
Yeah.
Because I think The Bodyguard really amplified, like, her global impact in a way that transcended even her musical achievements at that point.
Yeah. It's funny because, like, thinking about it now,
yeah,
I can't imagine anybody else as Rachel Marin.
I know.
Like, it's just...
It's so her.
It's her.
Yeah.
But you know what, though? Thinking about her being hesitant at first, it kind of says a lot about her,
Yeah, totally.
Like, it wasn't about, like, chasing fame or anything like that. It was about the music.
It was about the art.
It really was about the art form.
She understood the power of her voice. You know what I mean?
Totally.
And she didn't want to compromise that for anything.
Right.
But, there's this interesting thread, I think, throughout her whole career.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Whether it was honing the stage at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Or captivating everyone watching The Bodyguard. Or pouring her heart out in every single ballad that she did.
Totally.
It was just, there was this undeniable, like, aura of empowerment.
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, you felt empowered just listening to her.
Yeah, totally. And you think about, like, the time period.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is
not an easy time.
No, like, here's this woman, a Black woman, in a very white industry.
Yes.
Absolutely dominating the charts, becoming this, like, global icon.
A global superstar.
And it's just, like, it sent such a powerful message.
It did.
Especially, I think, for young women.
Yes, 100%. That, like...
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible. You can do anything.
You could achieve anything you set your mind to.
You set your mind to it.
It was inspiring.
It really was. But it wasn't just that she was successful.
Right.
It was how she did it.
It was the way she carried herself.
Yes.
It was with this grace.
Oh, totally. With dignity.
Dignity. And always with that talent, like leading the way.
Always.
It's no wonder she resonated with so many people on a personal level,
Yeah, it really is.
It wasn't just about the music. It was about representation.
Yes.
It was about breaking barriers.
It was about owning your power.
Yeah. And she never, like, what's amazing about her is that she did it all.
Yeah.
While staying true to herself.
Absolutely.
Like, it's not like she was, like, changing who she was.
Right.
To fit what the industry wanted or whatever.
No, she did it her way, and she made it clear.
Yeah.
That's how she was going to do it.
Yeah. So we've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
We've talked about her upbringing.
Yeah.
Her musical journey. The Bodyguard.
The Bodyguard, huge.
Huge. Just her overall influence, not just on, like, music, but, like, pop culture. But let's go back to kind of like the question you asked at the beginning.
Okay.
Like, why does she still matter?
Yeah.
Why are we still here?
Why are we still talking about Whitney Houston?
Talking about Whitney Houston decades later.
Decades later.
Like, why is this something we're still thinking about?
Yeah. It's a great question, and I think it's got, like, a couple layers.
Yep.
First of all, on a purely technical level, I mean, that voice, come on.
Come on.
The range, the control, the the raw emotion that she could inject into every single note.
Every note.
It was breathtaking.
Mm-hmm.
Just incredible. But there's something else there, you know?
Yeah.
It's something that goes beyond just the technical aspect.
Right, because, I mean,
like her voice.
you can find technically gifted singers. Like,
Yeah,
you can find people who can really, really sing.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that can hit the notes.
Oh, yeah. But there was a magic.
But there was something else there. There was a magic to Whitney, and you can't manufacture that.
It's true.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who can, like, really sing.
Mm-hmm.
But she had that thing, you know, that extra something.
Yes.
Where she could connect with a song
Yeah.
on a different level.
On an emotional level, yeah.
And make you feel it, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It wasn't just about hitting the right notes.
Right, exactly. And that's what makes her timeless.
Yeah.
That's what makes her music timeless, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It transcended genres, transcended, you know, cultural barriers. It went straight to the heart.
Totally.
And you couple that with, you know, the groundbreaking achievements,
Yeah.
the cultural impact. It's no wonder that her legacy is still, you know, resonating with each new generation that comes up.
And it's like her music just became like part of the fabric of our lives. You know, it's
Yeah.
like weddings, proms, you know, late night
Right.
drives with the windows down.
Yes.
Her music was always there, but
It was the soundtrack to our lives.
it really was.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, thinking about her lasting legacy,
Yeah.
how do you think she influenced
Oh,
the artists that came after her?
in countless ways, you know. You
Yeah.
see it. I mean, you see it in the vocalists who really prioritize like raw emotion and vulnerability in their music.
Wow.
You see it in the artists who use their platform to really advocate for social justice and for change.
Yeah.
And I think you even see it in just the sheer determination of the new generation of artists to break down those barriers that you know that Whitney chipped away at.
Totally. And it's like she really kind of like showed that you could be multifaceted, you know?
Yes.
That you don't have to just be a singer. You can use your voice
Right.
for more than that.
For more than that, exactly. And you can see that that's really taken root today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even just about like
Yeah.
direct imitation or anything like that. It's really about the inspiration.
It's the inspiration.
Yeah.
It's that spark, you know,
Strong
the
light.
courage to be yourself, the
Right.
courage to be vulnerable, to really use your talent
Yeah.
to try to make the world a more beautiful and inclusive place. I mean, that's Whitney's legacy.
It really is. And you know, something that's really stuck with me, I think, throughout this whole conversation
Yeah.
is that even though we lost her way too soon,
Way too soon.
it's like her music, her story,
Mm-hmm.
it still inspires.
Yeah, it does.
And it makes you think, you know,
Yeah.
like how do we
keep it going?
how do we keep that going?
How do we keep that legacy alive?
How do we keep her legacy alive? How do we make sure that impact, that ripple effect
Right.
keeps going?
That's the real question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And honestly, I think the answer is pretty simple.
Okay.
Share her music, keep sharing her music, amplify her message of empowerment, and honestly, just keep breaking down those barriers that she fought so hard to overcome. You know, her story it's a testament to the power of perseverance, of talent, and of using your voice to really make a difference.
I love that.
Oh.
And on that note, I think that's a really great place to kind of to wrap up
Yeah.
this incredible deep dive
Different.
on the legacy of Whitney Houston. It's amazing
It really is.
how much there still is to learn
Right.
about someone whose voice, you know, feels so familiar.
It's the mark of a true icon, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And to you listening, thank you so much for sending in this request
Yes, thank you.
for a deep dive on Whitney Houston.
Yes.
I hope this was everything you wanted and more.
I hope so.
And until next time, keep those insightful requests coming.
We'll see you next time.